Behold, the three most laziest canines on this planet. I'm talking about you three. Does anyone want to acknowledge me? No? Alrighty then. It's Tuesday the 11th of February. It's 3 degrees. I continue to be cold. I don't know how people do YouTube full time because it would drive me nuts. I'm struggling just doing this every day and spending all my time editing. But people who do YouTube videos every day, my God, that must be so tough. We've just had an exciting update. I have hit 42 miles. It's day 11 of 28. I have hit 42 miles. And we've raised £371. Good evening. I just realised that I've been forgetting to mostly film my daily walks to and from work. This is a little bit intentional, a little bit accidental. So my walks in the morning are more or less the same. So there's kind of not too many more sights that you're going to see other than what you've seen already. On my days off, that's when I do the fun walks. Today's topic, what is my opinion on social media? I have had a different approach to social media. Social media and I haven't always been best friends. So as you can imagine, when you're growing up as a female, you've got self-esteem issues, you've got body issues growing up. Social media isn't necessarily the best thing for you because you see all of these people with their perfect lives and the perfect looks, the perfect waist, the perfect body, and you can't help but think, why don't I look like that? Why don't I act like that? Why am I not as successful? When you're growing up as a young girl or a child in general, you're absorbing all of this social media crap, all of it as you're growing up, and you do it without even realising, I think. Obviously, when I was growing up, so I was in primary school, late 90s, early noughties. Back then, not everyone had a phone. I think I was one of the first people in year 6. I think I got my first phone in year 6. Back then, social media wasn't a thing, so you didn't have things like TikTok or Facebook or insert social media here, Instagram. I didn't feel the pull of social media until secondary school sort of time when YouTube started coming about. So I joined YouTube just after it opened, I think 07, 08. It was very, very weird. I joined YouTuber as like a teenage blogger years and years and years ago. I didn't really make very many videos. It's mostly just myself and my friends kind of messing around, dancing to music, that sort of thing. You begin to get these comments and some of them get hateful online, some of them get a bit personal. And when you're a teenager and when you're growing up, your brain isn't fully developed and you're absorbing all of this culture, all of these comments, all of this hatred, all of these opinions, especially from really toxic people like Andrew Tate and insert name here, whoever. Social media wasn't as much of a thing, but I was still able to feel the effects of it from secondary school onwards. Especially when you hit your late teens, again, you start to ruminate on why are you not X, Y, Z? Why is everyone else having a better time than you? And it begins to isolate you, begins to make you feel as if, hang on, why is everybody else finding things so easy and you're finding it so difficult? I was one of those people that used to doom scroll hours and hours and hours and hours on end. Even now, every so often, when I feel the pull of me doom scrolling, I will put a timer on my social media apps and I'll limit myself to like an hour a day per app. If that's, pushing it. Sometimes it's half hour. If I feel like I'm scrolling too much or getting too into something, I will really, really try and pull back from it because my brain needs a break. It's absorbing all of these opinions, all this content, all of this media. Even as an adult, when your brain is fully developed, you need a break from everything. It's not even influencers, it's other sorts of media, it's interviews, it's toxic opinions, kind of a myriad of different things that you absorb. So you start your day as a sponge. You're a nice clean sponge, and the more you go through the day, the more you go through social media, you absorb a little bit more every single day until you get to a point where you think, I need a break, I need a detox, I need to just put my phone down and walk off. Everyone gets there eventually. Even the most profound social media addict will get there eventually and think, I need to put my phone down and walk off. To an extent, it's rotted our brains. We don't feel as if we can fill our time unless we have a phone in our hands, and most of the time it's going to be on social media. It's incredibly toxic if you let it run your life. I've seen kids and I've seen the effects it has on them. They cannot be away from their phones. They have to put every little update on Instagram, on Facebook, wherever. And growing up, I was that person too, because you're a kid or you're a young adult and your brain is still very much addicted to the dopamine that scrolling and laughing at things and absorbing media gives you. It's not your fault, it's what's being fed to you every single day. When I grew up, the best social medias were like Bebo and MySpace. MySpace, definitely the original. I think Bebo followed soon after that. You end up exposed to so many really, really toxic things. I really try and stay away from social media as much as possible. Obviously, I'm using it to post these videos. I'm using it to chat to friends and people that I don't really see. Also, because I like to write and because I am a self-published writer, I have to use it a lot for my author area of things because that is the best way to market to people. But again, that's me churning out content for other people to absorb. To play devil's advocate, am I any better? Sure, my stuff isn't toxic, but I'm still wanting people to absorb my content. So arguably, I'm just as much a part of this as anyone else, except for the fact that I have a better intention with it. I think social media is going to come to a head eventually, where even now they try and put so many restrictions on things. Obviously with Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook, you've got a lot of different privacy concerns, influence concerns. Now Facebook own Instagram and someone else owns someone else. There's a lot of interlocking rings here. There's a lot of spaces that have your data. Even if you've been very careful not to put your data online, it's going to be online somewhere, guaranteed. There's going to be somewhere that has farmed your data, either from a social media site or otherwise, and it's going to be online. It is one of those things. Social media is just so accessible. It's just so easy. You could be on a train ride, pick up your phone for 5 minutes. You could be entangled in someone's online, very obvious love affair. You could be looking at what Becky's been doing for dinner the past week or what Sandra's bought from a charity shop. You could be so absorbed into these things so easily. It's easily done. It's a way for our brains not to be bored. We're absorbing content, but we're also not actively thinking about it. Social media does have its place. I enjoy scrolling through Instagram stories, Instagram reels, TikTok videos as much as the next person, because sometimes you do need to give your brain a break and just watch mind-numbing stuff. Get your mind off something. It has its place, but unfortunately, like all things, there is always a very, very dark, toxic side to it. You have to separate yourself as a human from the self that lives online, because everyone who lives online that you see, my Facebook is filled with happy smiling pictures of me. Nobody knows when I'm sad unless I tell them. Nobody knows what I've been through unless I tell someone. They just see the happy pictures, and that goes for yourself. Does anyone truly know what's going on with you? Have you told many people, or do you hide behind happy pictures? Social media, for the most part, is a lie. It's a well-crafted lie in many, many ways. It's also done some good and spread some good. Like with this challenge, I'm spreading the word on social media. I'm getting a lot of donations from it. So I can't fault that. I can't fault the communication, advertising side of things, nor can I for my book business. It's just a very slippery slope. It's one of those things that is a double-edged sword. You may have your hand at the head of the snake, but the tail can still wrap around you. That's where I'm going to end it today. Social media has its place, but you can't fall into the darkness, because you will lose yourself and you won't know what's real anymore. See you later.